Hey y'all, this is Jeremiah, pastor at Centennial ARP. Thanks for tuning in for today's video devotional. We're in Proverbs chapter 10, starting with verse 27, going through verse 30. The fear of the Lord prolongs life, but the years of the wicked will be short. The hope of the righteous brings joy, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is a stronghold to the blameless, but destruction to evildoers. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not dwell in the land. What we see here in these kind of little groupings of proverbs are these different topics, and here we see this emphasis on this righteous going after the Lord. It's very important, as we will probably hear many times as we march through the Proverbs proper. There's something unique happening in the Proverbs, and it's one reason that we humans, followers of God, are drawn to it. Is because it's very tangible. It's very material in nature. So, for instance, verse 27, the fear of the Lord prolongs life, but the years of the wicked will be short. In other words, there is a baseline reality that following after God and His statutes and commands, they do, generally speaking, provide a usual or ordinary opportunity for more years in your life. In other words, and not to be too extreme, but if you drink a gallon of alcohol every day, in other words, there's no moderation to the good things that the Lord has given you, in all likelihood, your life will be far shorter than if you did not do that. And this kind of reality bears itself out on X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all of these different pieces, but we must remember that physical, material thrust of the Proverbs is not the end goal. That's skin deep. That is the beginning. That is the entryway into the vast spiritual realities that are found and bound up within this word, within the Proverbs as a whole. And so as we look at these Proverbs today, the fear of the Lord prolongs life, that fear being not a cowering and quaking, but a right and righteous understanding of who God is and of who we are. There should be a right fear coming before the Creator of the universe. And so we fear the Lord and worship His name, His splendor, and His truth. The hope of the righteous. What is the hope of the righteous? It is God Himself that brings joy, right? The way of the Lord, that is the stronghold. That is where we find our structure, our foundation. And then, of course, the righteous will never be removed. There is a confidence that goes beyond accusation in this world if we are ones who operate in the light. But as you see those opposites in these Proverbs, you begin to realize that there is a shakiness to the unrighteous person, to the one who is not believing. There is a vast amount of doubt and anger and being tossed to and fro, to use another biblical illustration from a couple different places, but James is famous for it, right? When we don't have the foundation of the Lord Jesus, when we live this life apart from the stronghold of God, from that sure-footedness of the Lord on the straight and narrow path, we fall and flip and flop, and we sometimes do it on purpose, like we're pitching a fit like a small child. Other times it happens to us on accident as we find ourselves in a place that is dangerous and murky and that has dangerous things that are around. And so today, as you commit yourself to these Proverbs here, there is a distinction between one following after God and one following after the ways of this world, between righteousness and unrighteousness. But it's not a be healthy and you've got it moment. It is a look to God to see who He is. Have you looked to God today? Have you looked to God in your life? Have you recognized that he has sent his Son, Jesus Christ, to live a perfect life for you? To die a sacrificial death for you. In other words, to take away the bad things, the sins that you have committed on purpose and on accident. To take all of those things away, to pay for them, that you might stand in the presence of God and that you might stand innocent, blameless because of what God has done for you. Have you looked to God? Have you seen the Lord Jesus? Do you believe in the gospel? And as you consider these things, see these Proverbs in a new light, not just at the skin level, not just skin deep, but with the door flung open to walk in to the vast spiritual reality that they hold of the great and awesome God who is working for you, especially in his Son, Jesus Christ. See that today and be blessed.